We're harvesting squashes and marrows today on Pots and Trowels, and that's brought to you with the support of Cobra Garden and Darlac. Hello and welcome to Pots and Trowels. Well, we're having a bit of a catch up in the veg plot at the moment. Here we are, first week in October. Really feels like autumn is with us now. It's a bright day today, but we've had quite a bit of rain and we're getting those really heavy dews and cooler mornings. So things are really slowing down. And we've been harvesting in this bed here, which is where we grew some courgettes and a squash. And everything has grown so well. This is the first year with these raised beds. We constructed these back in the spring. And of course, if you want to see that video, you can find it on YouTube, where of course you can subscribe for free. They were filled with topsoil. We used a plant grow mix that came from Norfolk and their wonderful mulch. And everything has just grown like mad. And I didn't realize how well they would grow. Otherwise I would have put fewer plants in. It just became a mass of foliage from the squashes and the courgettes, and I had a little row of chard here, this lovely chard that we eat through the winter with these colourful stems. These have got really drawn as a result of competing for light, but it's all done very well indeed. And most of it has now been taken out because we're coming to the end of the growing season and the squashes had ripened, and I've left one on to show you because it did actually grow all over the place. So imagine this all over everywhere. This is the last part of the plant I'm leaving, and we can see if we delve in there, there is one final squash on the plant. And the way to tell that these are ripe, this is a butternut squash, a variety called Hunter, that seems to grow really well in our climate, is the skin has got to be hard. You can't push your thumbnail in it. And see there, if I move that leaf, the stalk there has gone from a green colour, like the green of the stalk or the stems on the plant. Here it's just starting to brown off a little bit. That tells me that the fruit is now drying. And that's the point when, and it's quite hard to cut as well. And that is the point where we can cut our squash and just give that a wipe down. And that is a really, really good squash. I would normally wipe them down with a cloth to get rid of any soil on them. Perfect like that. And we've already got 6 off. This is 7 and there's 2 more there which I'll show you in a second. And these are now what we call cured. The skin is hard, as I say, and if I tap them, it sounds like you're knocking on a wooden door, and that means the skin has gone hard. And if we keep these somewhere cool and dry, they will stay in good condition right the way through till Christmas and beyond. We've been eating these often as late as January, even into early February. And they're great, of course, to use in lots of winter dishes. So Jill puts those to really good use in the kitchen. So we've already harvested 6. That one makes 7, but there are 2 more just around here. And you can see we've got 1, 2, here that are still growing, and they're not quite right. And if I just get one of the right ones to show you the colour, the difference there, you can see quite a big difference. And this one has still got quite a soft skin. Now, I'm going to leave these maybe for another week, but you could, if you wanted to, actually harvest those. And because the skin hasn't cured, they won't store for long. But if you were to put those in a fridge and eat them within the next week or 2, they would be absolutely fine. But these are the ones that are going to store through the winter. So I think 7, 8, 9 squash there. I think we've done really well from one plant, which is good going. There are a couple rather here, if I can just, that have split. And the reason for that is because at some point when the fruits were developing, the soil will have dried out and the plants got a little bit dry, probably why we were working away at one of the shows this summer. And then if we've had some rain, it's then just caused that hard skin to split. Perfectly edible. We'll just use these first. We won't store these. These will be used within the next week or so. And we'll just trim off that damaged piece there. But the remainder of the flesh in that will be absolutely fine. In the same bed, because we had one squash, which the base is over there, we had 2 courgettes that, again, we've had so many courgettes this year. I'm absolutely fed up of eating courgettes, but the cooler weather, they start to rot off. The little fruits go rotten at the end, at the flower end. So again, the other day we picked the last few of the baby courgettes like that, And again, they'll keep for a week or so in the fridge. These are so delicious and tender at this stage. That's a perfect stage to be eating them. So we've been using those to get the last of the season's fresh produce, but we also left a few on there to grow into marrows, because a marrow and a courgette are exactly the same, just the marrow is the adult version of a courgette. And we allowed 4 to stay on the plant and grow to their full potential. So believe it or not, that started as that about a month ago. And again, like the squashes, it's really hard, it's got a hard skin on it, and they will store again in a lovely cool dry place, an outhouse or a shed or cellar if you've got one, right the way through the winter. And then Jill will use these to make her wonderful marrow and ginger jam. So if you've got squashes and marrows, courgettes in the garden, now we're getting cooler days, it's time to start harvesting them, clear the ground and get it ready for crops again next year. Thank you for watching Pots and Trowels. Next week we're going to be back in the veg plot. It is the harvest time of the year, so we're going to be lifting and storing potatoes. So we'll see you then. Bye.